Hi, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight, whether you are here in person or virtually online. I think we have about 130 people signed up from about 25 states and 3 continents. So good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, I think, depending on where you are right now. So I'm Nick Fisichella. I'm the president and CEO with Schoodic Institute at Acadia National Park. I'm really glad to see you all here. And we had a similar event 1 year ago, right here in Moore Auditorium on the Schoodic Institute campus in Acadia National Park. Of course, a year ago there wasn't an open seat in the house. This year is very different. So most of you are joining us virtually, so thank you for doing so. We have limited the in-person crowd here to about 10% of our capacity in the auditorium. So we'll be following safety guidelines. So just as a friendly reminder, please keep your masks on in the audience today, and our musicians will be doing the same. As the saying goes, the show must go on, and this is true for the wonderful music we'll hear tonight, and it's true for the critical work that we do here at Schoodic Institute. Our work is about engaging people in the science and solutions to changing conditions. And some parts of our work simply cannot happen right now, such as having large groups of middle school students running around on campus for 3 days and nights as part of the Schoodic Education Adventure program that we do in partnership with the National Park Service and Friends of Acadia. But much of our work does continue. We continue to engage learners of all ages in socially distanced and virtual ways, such as reaching classrooms online across the country with our NPS partners, and we're continuing our research in the intertidal zone, working with rockweed. This seaweed is the foundation for so many species reliant on the intertidal zone, including us. We're also continuing our work in the spruce fir forests and on the summit of Cadillac Mountain, working on restoring vegetation and counting hawks that are migrating by right now. And also at Schoodic Point, where we're monitoring the tens of thousands of seabirds that come by every fall and have already started their great fall migrations. And so nature isn't stopping, and we aren't stopping either. We're adapting and safely continuing our work. I'd like to thank Chantal and Michael Jennings for sponsoring this wonderful event tonight and being most willing to adjust and adapt to the realities dictated by COVID-19. Thank you very much. Tonight is a celebration of the work we do, an appreciation of all who work with us. This is a celebration of challenges and opportunities. This is a celebration of the solutions we are pursuing, the people we are engaging, and the future we are creating. This is a celebration from sea to trees. Our work is only possible through the generous donations of our supporters, so thank you, especially during these really challenging times. So with that, I would like to welcome and introduce the Halcyon String Quartet. This is a Maine-based string quartet that brings together arts and environmental stewardship through imagery and music. Welcome.
The next piece we're going to play is a quartet by Alexander Borodin. Borodin is a really interesting guy. Borodin is a very interesting guy. He is, in his biography, he lists himself as a chemist and as a doctor and also as a composer. I'll speak loudly because I think my battery's running low. But I find this kind of interesting performing here in Schoodic, where this is a place mostly about science, and we're trying to bring some music and some science together. And I didn't really think of this when Michael asked us to play Borodin, Maybe Michael thought of that, but I did not think of this until about 5 minutes ago, just about how Borden really reflects this kind of combination of science and of medicine and of music. In his bio, it also says that he focused on his chemistry and on his and on being a doctor, except for he often wrote a lot of his music when he was ill, apparently. Like he focused on the other things unless he wasn't feeling so well, and then he wrote music. So it's a quartet in 4 parts. 2 of the movements you'll probably recognize as just being really, really kind of famous, beautiful, soaring movements, and the other 2 are kind of new to us, but really, really, really fun. I do want to give a quick shout out to all the people on Zoom, particularly all my family members back in Washington State who have been longing to hear a concert for very long, especially my mother. So just a shout out to all of you guys watching from all over the world, and everyone in the audience. Thank you for being here. And just everyone here in the audience, thank you so much for just for wearing your masks and being respectful of the safety of everyone. It's really, really helpful.
For the next portion of the program this evening, this is where Halcyon combines their music with imagery. And that imagery tonight is from our work here at Schoodic Institute, from the place we work and the research that we do. And the theme is from sea to trees, really captures the place here in our work that spans from the intertidal zone into the forests and the bird communities that move back and forth from sea to trees. And this will be in 3 different sections. The first one is the theme is landscapes and seascapes. The second section is observations. And the third is in engaging people in the work. And so for each section, there'll be slides up behind the musicians, and I'll just say a few words to begin each part. Landscapes and seascapes. The land, sea, and sky converge here on the Schoodic Peninsula. This is a place where spruce trees reach over the ocean and rockweed dances in the waves twice a day at high tide. This is a place where seabirds soar across the water and songbirds stop along their great migrations. This is a place to explore our world and to nourish our souls. This is also a place of change. These changes are happening over seconds, minutes, days, years, and centuries. Some of these changes follow the natural ebb and flow of life and have been happening forever. Other changes are new and caused by us. In addition to ocean waves, we now have more frequent heat waves. In addition to natural erosion and weathering, we now have ocean acidification and unprecedented storm surges. In addition to seasonal bird migrations, we now have all kinds of plants and animals shifting their ranges and chasing their climates north across the land and seascapes. What changes are you observing? Observations. We share this magnificent place with many friends. Friends with feathers, friends with fur, friends firmly rooted in the ground, and friends suctioned to rocks out in the waves. Our group of friends is changing. Some old friends will stay with us, others will move on, and still others, new acquaintances, will move in. These plants and animals are bellwethers of change. They tell us about the changes happening on the landscape and seascape. They share their wisdom if we are open to seeing and hearing what they have to share. What are they experiencing? How are they responding? And what are they asking of us? Engaging people. Everyone plays a role in observing plants and animals and understanding our world. Everyone plays a role in developing solutions to the challenges we face. This is science. Science is for everyone. Science is inclusive. Science is part of the solution. Science is for young people. Science is for elders. Science is for individuals. Science is a team sport. Science is for people of all races, ethnicities, and genders. Science is for people from every social and economic background. Science is for the planet and your great-great-great-grandchildren you will never meet. All right, everybody, this brings us to intermission. We're going to have about a 10-minute pause here. Get up, stretch your legs. For those of you online, we'll be showing our Schoodic shorts, the short videos during the 10-minute break. These are videos showcasing our scientists and educators and their passion for the work that we do. So enjoy, and we'll see you back here in 10 minutes.
I'm Seth Benz. I'm the director of the bird ecology program here at Schoodic Institute. I've been doing this particular job since 2011. Our jurisdiction is the entirety of Acadia National Park, including Mount Desert Island and here on the Schoodic Peninsula. The last couple of years we've been exclusively working on the peninsula, tracking arrival of spring migrants, and we're also recording breeding bird behavior that we see along our trails. A couple of different projects are the migrations of the birds that are going by. In addition to the songbird arrival, we watch hawks from Cadillac Mountain, and we track migrating seabirds past Schoodic Point. When you think about migration going through the Acadia region in a given season, in the springtime, hundreds of thousands of birds come through. And then in the fall, after we've had the breeding season, millions of birds are going back through this area. So that is the kind of stuff that we're trying to monitor, see what's happening with individual species as well as the collective of family groups. And one of our principal guiding lights is to engage the public in participating in our science of the park. One of the things that I've noticed in this COVID time is that folks, of course, are spending much more time at home, but they're being more observant of their backyards, whether it be bird feeders or the timing of when things green up in their yard. If I used the number of emails coming to me about nature observation as a metric, those emails have gone off the chart. And so as an outreach part of the work that I do, I'm responding to people making those observations, and I'm really appreciative that they're sending them to me because it can be incorporated, folded into our overall data, especially in a time when we're not able to get out into the field as much as we ordinarily would, in particular this past spring.
I'm super passionate about our Earth and our relationship to the Earth. I am super passionate about really good science education. and I'm really passionate about science itself. I'm Sarah Hooper. I'm the Education Specialist for Schoodic Institute. I help manage and develop and coordinate education programs for learners of all ages. And we're developing collaboration with the National Park to make a greater impact for students learning about the environment and learning about nature and outdoors and citizen science. When I work with students, one of the wonderful things is I'm working with our future leaders. And I totally believe that they are the ones, whether they go into science or not, they are the ones that are going to take our world to the next place. And so when I work with students, first of all, this is my favorite classroom, is being outdoors with them, because I truly believe that science should be a process of discovery. It should be about fostering curiosity and exploring. One of the biggest projects I was able to work on this year was working with students at Sumner Pathways, which is the alternative education program at Sumner High School. These are high school students. They were able to collect data on clam flats, and looking at the growth and survival of seed clams, little baby clams that we put into the mud. The students became the science capacity, collecting data for the town that didn't actually have the resources to do that. And then the students were able to actually analyze the data and present that information to the town. And it was super helpful, because where they thought they might want to restore the clam flats actually turned out to be the less desirable place. One of my absolute favorite quotes in the whole wide world is by Baba Dayum, and his quote was, "In the end, we will conserve what we love will love what we understand, and we will understand what we have been taught." My job as an education specialist is to facilitate that learning and to facilitate those connections and to take students and take learners through all three of those stages. I can't believe I get to work here.
When we talk about change being the only constant, I feel as though that's never more true as in a place like the intertidal. I'm Hannah Weber. I'm the Marine Ecology Director here at Schoodic Institute at Acadia National Park. I do go all over the state for this work, and we need to be extra cautious. I am very fortunate that many private landowners along the coast of Maine gave my research team permission to do our research on their private land. I have been in some communities this year where the whole community has closed because of concerns around COVID. Whenever we're in the field, we're thinking about keeping the environment safe from our research to begin with, but we really need to add those extra safety precautions. Here in Acadia, in late July, we see this increase in the Jonah crabs arriving, washed up on shore, and then we'll continue to see them through August, and then we'll see sort of this slowly diminishing return of these crabs in September. I have no idea why this is happening. So we can't pretend that scientists are the only ones who have any information or knowledge in this world. I check in routinely with lobster fishers to see how many crabs they're getting in their traps. And are they seeing, when do they see an increase in crabs in their traps? I'm checking in with other researchers along the whole coast. What are you seeing for crabs? This is part of a larger warming Gulf of Maine story. It's a connected story. We don't know where this thread comes into the whole weft. This has been logging since last September. I haven't downloaded the data since last September. So what we should see is this classic September warm, then a dip through the winter, and then an increase in springtime temperatures, and that would be surprising if we saw anything different. So we have May into the summer, and we've got this drop down into the fall, deep into the winter with low temperatures. This whole black line is temperature, and then back up again for this spring. Down here, the blue is light intensity, so underneath a rocky cover, we have very low light intensity with some spikes throughout the season.
I grew up in Acadia on Mount Desert Island, and I never knew about all the research that happened in Acadia National Park. And I think it's really interesting to finally learn about all the research that happens every year in Acadia. I'm Emma Albee, and I'm the Science Information Specialist at Schoodic Institute at Acadia National Park. I manage research permits at Acadia National Park, and I help to digitize and document the information related to that research so it gets into the archives and into the hands of other researchers. I help manage the research, so I work with park staff to review research permits as they come in and then approve them, and then work to get all of the final products, including final reports, data, photos, specimens, if they collected any specimens in the park, and then to archive and digitize that information so that it can be shared with other researchers, so that then that research can be used forever in the future. With COVID-19, the research permits slowed down in the beginning of the pandemic because the park was closed to a lot of the public and visitors, and so researchers could not get out into the park, so we had to suspend research permits for a few months. And then once the park facilities and roads started opening up, research came in fast and furious, and people wanted to get back out into the field and continue their research.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Please have a seat, and we'll get started with the second half of the show. And a friendly reminder just to keep your masks on while you're in the auditorium. And with that, I will welcome Halcyon back onto the stage.
Thank you all so much for being here. It's a real treat for us to be able to play for an audience. That hasn't happened nearly enough this summer, so thank you. The next piece that we're going to play is Dvorak's American String Quartet. And this is one of our very favorite pieces. We've played it for quite a few years now, and it's a real treat to be able to perform it for you. It was written in Spillville, Iowa. In only 2 weeks, Dvorak wrote this piece, and he actually wrote, I think in a letter to someone after he finished it, he said, "Thank God it wrote itself quickly." I don't know exactly what that means, but it's a brilliant piece of music, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. This has been such a treat for us. We, as all of us can imagine, have not played many live concerts for in-person audiences in 5 months, and this is really meaningful for all of us. And it's especially meaningful to be able to share music paired with thought and reflection about environmental stewardship and the world that we live in. And I can speak for myself to say that in the past 4 months of quarantine and COVID-19, I've spent a lot more time outside. And it means a lot to be able to live in such a beautiful place and to be able to protect it and take care of it. And so we're really, really grateful to be here, to be able to share this with you. The last piece, thank you. The last piece that we're going to play, or it's 2 pieces, I guess. One is very upbeat and the other is very, I guess, a reflection on gratitude. But this piece is called Shine You No More, and it's very lively and fun and joyful, and I think we need more of that right now. So we hope you enjoy.
Well, a big thank you to the Halcyon String Quartet. That was really, really wonderful. And thanks everybody for coming, either in person or online. Do check out, we have some upcoming events next weekend. The Maine Outdoor Film Festival will be here on campus. So you can check out some short films under the stars here. And then in a couple of weeks, our very own Catherine Schmidt will be hosting a conversation with author Colin Woodard on the past, present, and future of the coast of Maine. So check out more details on those on our events page at schoodicinstitute.org. And certainly you can learn more on our website about us and support us there. So thanks all for coming out and all the roles that you play in the work that we do together and the future that we're creating. Thanks, everybody. Good night.